hello, everybody. Hey, hello, everybody. Alrighty. Ooh, my God, I guess we'll just have to get started. Hey, guys, how's it going? My name is Justin,
Mark.
and you're watching and or listening to episode 431 of DangIT Prodcast. Welcome back, everybody. It's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks. To be fair, I guess I could have done some kind of pre-record thing, but was not in the mood for that. I was just, like, honestly, if I had to prep a podcast, it'd have to have been like after the previous one, because I remember that the reason that I was gone last week and did not do a podcast of any sort was because I was at TwitchCon. Now I did do some streams like that weekend as well, just in my hotel room, but they weren't under like really DangIT Podcast per se, but did have some pretty lengthy just conversations as far as like what happened. But Mark, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. Anything that happened to you these past 2 weeks though?
Uh, a
Shout to
lot can
Abraham.
happen in two. A lot can
What?
happen in 2 weeks.
A lot can happen in 2 weeks. I mean,
Because I'm trying to think
okay.
of anything major. I can't remember if I can think of anything major.
Mm. Any shows, video games, anything that's stand out for you these past 2 weeks?
I mean, there's always a ton of those.
There's a lot. I mean, go ahead and list them actually. I mean, not like on the Google Doc. I mean, just generally speaking.
I mean, one of the biggest I would say is probably Overwatch 2.
Overwatch 2. Yes, Abraham, we'll talk about that one shortly. Overwatch 2. So that game recently came out, and I've been hearing a bit about it as far as just, the early stages of it, which was like the whole Q thing, but there was also the fact that you were telling me about it.
A DDoS attack, yeah.
Yes. So it caused a lot of people to not be able to get into the game, but now it seems that people are reliably getting in, so that's good.
Yeah, it's fun. Good game.
Do you think the whole push for free to play for that one may have been caused due to, maybe Gundam Evolution being out as well, or could that have just been a coincidence and maybe that's just their own decision making?
I believe it was their own decision making. Because
Okay.
they stated that Overwatch 2 was going to be free to play beforehand.
Oh, okay. What's Iram, you were saying that people are clowns playing Overwatch 2. What's going on?
You sound like you're bad at it, Abe.
You wouldn't make that comment if you kept losing. To be fair, I've been also taking L's, not in Overwatch, but Monster Hunter. Not to really go full tangent, but I have been keeping Monster Hunter like on a slot for streams and just like in general play, generally speaking. And it gets me into a grind mindset, which is, I actually kind of like that in the sense that it makes me think outside of like the playtime hours as well.
There's good grinds and bad grinds.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you were saying Overwatch 2. What are some other games you've been trying out?
Would say bad, Mark. I will let you know. I don't play the game. I play better games. So what I'm hearing is you haven't played. But then what you're saying is you haven't even tried it.
Yeah, no, I know that obviously Overwatch has had like quite a reputation as far as just having a strong like community like around it, being able to play it since like day one.
Yeah, like I played the shit out of the first Overwatch.
Mm-hmm. People were just really playing through it until the end of the servers for Overwatch 1.
Oh yeah, and 2 is definitely getting them back, and hopefully Blizzard manages to manage everything better than they have been, because of course they've made a couple fucky weckies, but I think they're gonna work through that.
Yeah, I remember like over the past 2 weeks there has been like talks about like the Activision Blizzard thing and Microsoft like acquiring them and then PlayStation doing something as well. I didn't really quite follow that story, but I know that that's kind of been a topic.
As far as I'm aware, I'm pretty sure Phil Spencer said there would be no profit there, but there wouldn't be much of a profit like increase to keep Call of Duty Xbox exclusive.
Hmm.
So he said that that's why they aren't going to make Call of Duty Xbox exclusive.
Is that the final say of it? Because I didn't really catch up with that.
Abe, you still haven't given me a reason it's a bad game.
Hmm. I can almost like imagine the response on that, but oh yeah, all right. I think that actually I'm really wondering what they would do with Call of Duty as far as like keep it exclusive, like because I feel like Halo has been like Microsoft's like first person shooter, and PlayStation has been having like bouts here and there as far as like the first person shooter since Killzone like had ended, right?
Killzone
And
Shadowfall, that was the last one.
yeah, so but Call of Duty's kind of just been like open as far as just like the availability of play. And it was just
Yeah.
dependent on whether or not they would put it on a console, any other console, you know. So the fact is that they got bought
Yeah.
out was like really shocking back in the day, and not just
Most
because
expensive deal in gaming history.
there was that for sure, and we were all hoping that a lot of reforms would happen as a result of that, and of course they have to still go through the finalizations of it. I think they're still, yeah, it's still going. But I guess that's why there was a lot of conversations about that. And now that we have Overwatch 2, so it's interesting to like kind of
If it'll
see the background
it'll
of it.
really be Overwatch 2 once they add in the story, like the PvE story mode that they were saying
Oh,
was going to be in it.
oh, okay. So is it right now just the multiplayer and that's it?
Cur- Currently, yes.
That's fair enough. I think having it free to play does help that a lot, so that they can still work on like getting a story in there later on.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Let me see. Oh, you know what? I don't know where to even start with like my list of events, but since we were on the Pokemon topic, or sorry, game topic, I wanted to talk about Pokemon real quick because that was
Belly
something.
Bolt?
Oh, what's going on?
Is that what we're talking about? Are we talking about Belly Bolt?
Yeah, actually, in fact, we're
He's
just
shaped like a friend.
if dangerous, why French shaped? Yeah, no. Actually, this
Although,
past week, I have not really like tuned in until like literally yesterday, where I watched all of it. They were pretty much introducing the electric gym leader, Iona, and she's the main thing about her is that she's actually a streamer slash influencer.
she just reminded me of like a V. She reminds me of what a VTuber would be like in Pokemon.
That's what I feel too, and I think a lot of people had that idea as well, just simply because like one, she's not like you don't see like an actual physical body person, and she is encompassing a streamer, so people I guess maybe default to that being like a VTuber. But yeah, no, she's just actually just a straight up streamer. But she has a character model and everything. And I remember she released like two videos. One of them was just kind of like her introduction, and then she would be like, "Oh, guess what my partner Pokemon is? Stay tuned for part 2." And then part 2 was kind of more of the actual introduction, but no like actual showing of like the gameplay. And then there was a third video that showed the gameplay as well as her in game as well, which I think given and I said it before in other streams as well, but having seen her in action and her character model and everything really just shows the focus that developers are having for like this game, which is kind of like on the character designs. But as far as that, Bellybolt, great, I love him immediately.
And apparently, that little face in the middle is his face. Those two things are not his eyes.
Yeah, like he's got he's got the chancy eyes, but he has eyeballs like looking like eyeballs like on the side. Oh, also just kind of catching up with what Ibrahim was saying ever since he said one of them being Overwatch. When it started, long as loading time. Hell, you could play GTA 5, beat the game. And that is also known for its loading time. And then he talks about
So
I don't know.
is he? Is that referring to the
Um,
DDoS attack at the beginning?
I think so. I actually don't really know the
If so,
context.
if so, that wouldn't be the game's fault.
And then Abraham was saying that when I saw her, I don't know, I wanted her to get the hell out of there. Get this VTuber bullshit out of here. And then Rule 34 was not nice. Rule 34 wasn't nice to her. To which I will respond, Rule 34 is not nice to anyone.
Fair. I will spend. I got friends that are VTubers, man. They're good people.
They're good people, and honestly, like, no, like I a lot of people have been voicing like negative opinions. Like, I like her too. Like, she's just, I think every single gym leader just has like a different like persona about them, and hers is just being a streamer. And I hope that it at the very least carries in a very natural way where it's not like she doesn't go fully ham on like the streamer stereotype and everything like that. Thank you for bits and everything like that. Oh, we're getting a raid right now as we're doing this battle. Like, do something that Raihan, do something that Raihan does.
I'm gonna cry if that happens.
Like,
I will cry laughing if in the middle of a Pokemon battle, a bunch of people just start coming into the crowd. Oh look, we got a raid.
it's interesting. The way that she had like her videos, it was kind of played off like a I guess a Japanese morning show or even a comedy show, something like that. I think that's how it kind of played out because
Japanese TV is wild.
Because you don't see me with that type of budget. Like, look,
Japanese live action TV is fucking wild.
Yeah, so all in all, I like both of them, and I'm assuming we might get more news like each and every week about like a new gym leader, a new character, and possibly a new Pokemon like attached to those. So
it's gonna be it's getting close enough now to where it's gonna start being more and more Pokemon.
yeah, and then probably by the final week or the week before, it might just be the final evolutions that you'll see.
I mean, the entire Pokédex for Sword and Shield was leaked.
Oh yeah, oh it was. Yeah, that's a long time ago. I didn't even remember that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, the entire dex was leaked.
I get mad, just says Abraham, the VTuber in the middle of the fight. And now we're from our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends.
Hey, yo, to be fair, you don't gotta be a VTuber for that. Plenty of flesh streamers that do that as well.
Flesh streamers.
Yeah, they call them flesh tubers. Flesh tubers.
I was gonna say F tubers. But speaking of which, they were also Raid Shadow Legends was also at TwitchCon. I didn't know
what
they
actually.
Yeah, they were. I don't remember. I didn't even check out like what they were doing, but they were there. So super cool of them because obviously Raid Shadow Legends is huge on like sponsoring streamers who could use the funds here and there. So it's nice that they drop in for that. I guess I will talk a little bit about TwitchCon. I've talked about it a fair number of times, so I felt like I've said my bit about it. But as far as just kind of putting it out for the podcast, TwitchCon's been a lot of fun. I can only tell you based on Comic-Con knowledge that it's just so much nicer, much more spacious, and I like the energy a lot. It's just a shame that some stuff that has come out about it as far as like what happened during, some stuff happening after. The big thing was the foam pit.
Can I just say, you mean the porn star who broke her back?
Yeah, that was kind of unfortunate. Like, I feel bad for her for suffering the injury, but I also feel bad for everyone else who participated and also suffered some sort of injury, because when you don't really think about it, because the foam pit's a foam pit, it's just there. But when you really think about it, the thing was elevated a certain like couple feet like off like the ground, and that floor is just flat. There is no dip there.
Have you ever fallen into a foam pit before?
No. Because
I have.
Oh, nice. Because foam pits are pretty much designed so they have so much like depth to them.
Yes, they're very deep and hard to get out of. Trying to get out of one is a bitch.
Right. So in this case, the foam pit was not at all deep. So if you landed in the wrong spot, or nothing could really cushion you like that way, you get hurt. And it's unfortunate.
That's one of the reasons they're naturally so safe, is because of how deep they are. So you have a nice cushiony deep landing.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much foam that it will absolutely absorb the impact. Whereas in this, they kind of cheaped out on it.
It looks like they did big time. Which, I mean, it makes it great for like just for the audience to see it, but also, that's not safe at all.
Yeah, that woman broke her back.
I was gonna I'll
Are
say
you
it,
gonna say
but
the, are you gonna say the joke that everyone else has been making?
I think you already said it indirectly.
Oh, I did. I said it before.
Let's like, I guess it's a joke, but I'm like, I just kind of feel bad for her to the point where I don't even want to say anything like that. But that's just really unfortunate for anyone who jumped into that. I know that it wasn't the only foam pit, but apparently there was a much safer one, like over near like the Wendy's area, which Wendy's was sponsoring TwitchCon as well, which was
Sponsored by Wendy's.
sponsored by Wendy's. Honestly, I should have checked out their booth. I just was too preoccupied with all these other things. They had a whole like thing, and obviously they're gonna like promote their food and give you some probably a free sample here and there. I didn't get to see that. I was just too busy. But
Free sample. Free
free
sample.
but yeah, okay. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark, for putting that in the chat.
Dude, that was funny as fuck, but so fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw people saying that, I was like, that's fucked up, but that's honestly pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, but yeah, Abraham, I don't know about those the actual foams themselves. They didn't really do a good job cushioning anybody in
They
that
can.
case.
They just didn't use enough of them.
Yeah, maybe not enough of that.
On top of that, they also just it's not deep enough. If it's shallow like that, they're not going to do much.
Yeah, like I think it's one of those things where you could make it work for the space, but you have to like elevate that like foam pit into like a foam pool.
Also,
Like,
a big warning sign probably should have been the waivers they were having people sign.
yeah, that should have also been the waiver.
This should have been a big warning sign is, hey, sign this waiver. Is this not safe? No. It's just
No,
it's okay.
no, you'll live.
You'll live. It's just a formality.
Abraham was asking, was the Wendy anime profile mascot there? No, I don't think so. It was just like the standard like image of it. The smug Wendy. You know, that would be great. In hindsight, they should have like played strongly with that. You know, it was a lot of fun. I was hanging out with Sephi there and our mutual friend Serena, and we were having a really good time. I had stayed there for like the whole 3 days. Thankfully, actually, because there was like some weird stuff going on about like my hotel stay as far as like my bookings there, but everything worked out just fine. But
You want to talk about the people you met?
the people I met, oh yeah.
Because I feel like that would be a big point. Is the people you met is like
It's true. It's true. TwitchCon is kind of powered by these folks, the streamers, right? I honestly, though being a streamer myself, I kind of really went in there as kind of like a consumer of everything, as far as like all these different like brands like showing up here and there. I did have some talks about like as far as sponsorship and stuff like that, but a lot of it is pretty much like, oh, you know, scan the QR code and you can like apply for a sponsorship here and there. Some opportunities over here, and they'll openly talk to you about that kind of stuff. But as far as people I met, I'm gonna be real honest with you. There were like a small handful of people that I actually recognize, but as far as Sephi, we've both seen Sephi's posts about like people that she's like actually like met up with and how she was trying to meet.
Definitely met a ton of people.
She was trying to meet XQC. The weird thing was the fact that like I think yesterday XQC like posted a video of him not feeling too good. So I was kind of relieved that Sephi didn't actually meet him yet.
Might have been a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, but she met a bunch of other folks as well as Serena as well. But unfortunately, I didn't really recognize a lot of people. The only people I would then recognize at that point, but I still have to attribute it to Sephi. She actually recognized the faces. Was there was two folks, right? One that you and her both like watch. Wubby, pay money's Wubby, and the other one was Cinna. Someone that Naya's following. Both chill. They're both cool. And I got pictures with them specifically for you two. So, which was really cool because like Wubby was cool enough to record a video for you that we got to share too.
That was so dope of him.
Mm-hmm. And Senna was just really chill about it. And then we would proceed to take photos and share it to Anaya, saying that
Anaya was like both happy and salty at the same time.
he was sad because it was one of those things where like both of you were saying like, take a photo, or like, or in Naya's case, if you meet Senna, don't engage with her. I swear to God. Mind your own business.
Don't you dare tell her about me.
But yeah, I didn't say anything about that, but
I was just saying, please tell me you guys said something about Anaya to her.
I didn't, because it was it's one of those things where like, it was just like, it was almost passing. Granted, the opportunity with Senna was that Serena had all these little small like squishy toys that she had bought as gifts for fans who decided to come up and say hi to her. But she had a lot, and so she was kind of freely giving them out somewhere on like the second floor. And
like little plushies.
Not little plushies, they were like really tiny, like you could fit them on an eraser type of like squeaky toy. You know what I mean? And and that's their only purpose. It's just like they're just soft and squishable, made like the smallest stress relief type of thing. And there was another group that had she kind of like waved over to, and then I guess Senna was there, and she came back because she was like, "What's going on?" And then that's when she picked at the bag. At this point, I was kind of exhausted, just kind of like walking around here and there. Or maybe it was just that time where I was just kind of a little sleepy here and there. And Sephi, that's when she like nudged me and said, like, that's her. That's her right there.
And then you blinked your eyes like,
I was like,
right.
Oh my God. No, I looked at the tag and I was like, oh, like her badge. I was like, oh, yeah. Okay. So that's how it happened. It was kind of the same thing with Wobby. She was able to like track that dude down. Well, not track him, but spot him, because he was also on like the second floor at that time. But it was only later that we were able to get like a photo. That was all. That's all day one too.
With him, I feel like it wouldn't be. He's a hard guy to miss.
Well, I showed you the photo. So I shared you the other photo. I was like, is this him?
It kind of looked like him. Wasn't exactly, but it kind of looked like him.
Yeah, I did double check the badge. I was like, yeah, for sure it's not him. But I don't know. Like, if you don't really know where people are going, then it's all a matter of you just trying to like actually spot them. I really kind of wasn't. But I did. I guess that's weird because I did recognize Saikuno. And the only reason we knew Valkyrie was there was the fact that a huge crowd was like right there, like as you walk into like the entrance of the exhibit hall. She was just crowded, and we were like, "Wait, what's going on? What's this crowd for?" And you kind of like look just a little closer. You're like, "Oh, okay, all right."
I didn't even know you knew who Saikuno was.
Yeah, no, I recognized him during his Twitch days, when he was still streaming there. I know they moved over to YouTube, but he was still there. Yeah, no, a lot of people, like alongside like Corp's husband, they were, because obviously those two were training together at a certain point.
No shot Corpse was there. If he was there through a virtual presence.
That's fair. That's real fair, because
that man is anal about his face. Like he does not want people to see his face.
I don't think he would ever want to. In that case, I don't think he'd ever want to even risk it, because obviously, like the badges, they have your username, so like you can't really hide that unless you like always constantly like flip it over. But I don't think he would have like risked that either, and rightfully so, because when Dream had done his face reveal, a lot of people had different mixed sayings. Some people were positive about it, other people were just indifferent about it, and then there was a bunch of people that were just like dogging on this dude, and I felt so bad.
Dude, he got fucking shredded.
I think, though, I mean, it probably would have been still pretty harsh anyway. It's just that, like, not to make such a big thing about, like, the face reveal. I know that one of the reasons he wanted to do that, right, I think it was because one of his friends was visiting him and was going to do TwitchCon, or it could have been something where, like, they wanted to do vlogs, and he would also be a part of that. So it would have been a matter of time before he would have a face reveal. So I guess he decided to make an announcement for that. For me personally, I guess Clay. Yeah, he looks just fine. Like I have nothing else.
Looks like a normal dude.
Just like a regular dude. But I guess it's just people like building up that.
I wouldn't like. They say he's ugly. I'm like, he's not ugly.
Yeah, that's just people with opinions / hating.
I think they're just people being mad because of how much it was hyped up. They were just expecting a god.
I know, right? This is the problem. Is like really building up that kind of thing. But yeah, no. I think he was. Yeah, he was probably at TwitchCon as well. But yeah, I didn't see him either. Yeah, like the only people that, well, I guess the real person I would really wanted to see is probably Maximilian dude, but he already told like beforehand that he wouldn't be able to go because he didn't want to risk it for his kid.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to take a chance of bringing anything back to her, probably.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess to be fair, like there's still gonna be cases regardless, right? So even though I'm okay, even from Comic-Con and this one, there's no real guarantee, so just want to be safe about that. And I guess I also would have wanted to meet probably the rest of Yo Video Games as well. I was totally okay with it, but I guess the other person I probably would have wanted to see is probably Fidel, aka Games Cage. I didn't know that it was funny because they have these stream stations. As you walk into the exhibit hall, the entrance of the exhibit hall, if you look left, there's a streamer lounge of sorts, sponsored by Velveeta. And
yeah, man, that mac and cheese be bussin'.
So they have like I think 3 rows of like computers, and I cannot emphasize the sheer number of computers just throughout that third of the exhibit hall. Just that by itself, so many computers, dude.
So many computers.
God, there was I couldn't even imagine the electric bill on that one. But they have all these different stations where I'm pretty sure
all the money went.
Yeah,
that's why they had to cheap out on the ball pit.
Oh my god. They had that, and GameScage actually. Oh, but sorry, Ben. I'll get back to you just real shortly. But sorry. But GameScage, he did do a stream like during TwitchCon. I was on the second floor. I guess they had the budget to have all these like bean bags, just like laid out for people who want to just chill. And I was one of those people who wanted to chill, so I was just there, and I was big chilling, pretty much waiting for Seppi to find me. But then during that, GameScage was streaming like downstairs in that exact area. I was like, I could go visit him, say hi. I don't feel like it though. So there was that. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it as far as like people I've met or even seen. I know Amaranth was like roaming around here and there, but I honest to goodness, I did not even see her. But there's photos of her, so I guess she was kind of chilling around. But yeah, no, I don't really recognize too many other faces who I knew were going either. So, but I think one of the coolest things was having like this weird like reality check on like the number of people going, because the way it was all set up was that TwitchCon had just like 2 separate lines just for entry. There's one for partners, and there was one for affiliates and community members, aka anyone. So in addition to that, you're marked as well for like those 3 like factions, if you will, where partners have purple, affiliates have like what color is this? It's more of a pink, maybe magenta, and the community members have blue. And I saw a lot of affiliates, and granted, Twitch had a lot of growth in affiliates just like in the past couple years due to COVID, but including like ourselves. It's just kind of crazy because in any other case, even like in Comic-Con, you see every single person as just kind of like a regular person. That's how they're just normally labeled to you. They're just another person walking by. But it was something different when you actually had a label on you and you can recognize it. That this is a community member, this is an affiliate, that's a partner right there, and they're just walking like casually. But obviously, the reality check is that every single person there is still a person at the end of the day, doesn't matter like what their status is. It's just really interesting to see that, because one of the things that was kind of like in the back of my head as I was roaming around noticing a lot of these statuses was that like this person has a story of how they became like an affiliate, or this person is a big fan of like a bunch of other people as a community member, or and partners, of course, the same kind of question. And it's got me always curious about what they were going through during this process. Like, how did they get to where they were? And it was just like a different like level of interpreting something that you just recognize as just a label. So it was really interesting. But sorry, let me go to Ibrahim, what he was saying. He following up on what he was saying, Dream is ugly. The people who are on the deepest
He's really not ugly. He's really not ugly.
Right. This is all Ibrahim. We do not own whatever. We do not pay ownership to whatever Ibrahim says. People who are on the deepest end possible for Dream are probably building was statues of him in their basement, I guess.
What?
I don't know what you mean by that. I'm gonna guess like on a Hey Arnold worshipping type of level.
I'm assuming what he's talking about is dream stands, essentially, is what he's saying.
I guess like big fan. There's going to be big fans of anybody. I get it, but
I don't even really know the guy. I didn't know about him until all this.
Really? I knew about him because there was a bunch of trends about like Minecraft having a lot of like competitions here and there, and Dream was always kind of like at the epicenter of all that.
Maybe I'd heard about him briefly at some point. I just don't remember hearing anything.
Do you recognize maybe his like avatar, which is really just like him covering his face like with a white mask and like dots and a smile?
Nah, I didn't really recognize him.
Well, I guess the internet's becoming very vast.
Well, it's also because like I've never been that big into Minecraft.
Ah, fair enough. All right. Yeah, all right, Ibrahim. I guess we could talk about this one. He wants to talk about Bayonetta's voice actress.
We just got finished talking about that in the messenger.
Yeah, this is some hot from the stove like type of news. Like, this just happened, as far as just the postings here and there. So, what was it? Helena, Taylor, right? She's the original voice actor for Bayonetta from like 1 and 2, and just other additional works that Bayonetta was a part of. She disclosed her payment, or at least the job offer payments for voice acting in Bayonetta 3. This kind of goes into like how and why she didn't actually take up the role, and why it's being voiced by someone else. It was actually because I guess possibly in comparison to the other ones, she was paying way less, getting paid way less for this one. So she turned it down, but not after trying to like speak to I'm sorry, what was his name again?
I don't know.
Oh shoot, I just had the tab for it too. But he was speaking to him. This is probably it. Hideki Kamiya?
Hideki Kamiya?
Yes. So as the director, she reached out to him like in a letter, email, what have you, got that translated, sent it to him, sent it back to her, said a lot of nice stuff, and then offered to pay her 4,000 flat for the entire thing.
Was that more than she was getting before?
That's assumably yes.
So he did it. So it wasn't enough, but he did increase the amount.
Yes, that's what's starting to read off as, yeah. Because apparently she had to re-audition, because like that's just kind of a natural thing. She was able to get it, and then that's when she got the rate. And she said that it was kind of like an insulting rate. So she reached out to Hideki for like a reconsideration, given like her previous like work and experience as Bayonetta. And he sent it back and said that like, oh, how about we offer it for like 4,000? And I think that's when she went up and posted the stuff, whether that could have been like further in the past or whatnot. But this may have been some recent news, and she had to kind of take it in before posting about it, because this did, I guess, apparently, break NDA for her, because she wasn't really supposed to talk about it. The reason that she brought
is that why they fired her?
No, it was the fact that it was just like such a low rate for her that she didn't take it.
All right, I was just saying, like, if she fired, she quit.
Right, because it was already announced that Bayonetta was getting a different voice actor. This is like prior to this, and I guess what happened was that Platinum Games, you guys might have to look further into it, was the fact that they were informing, like, just in general, that Miss Taylor was too busy. She couldn't take up the role. So yeah, no. I did see a post from Hideki in regards to that, possibly claiming that all that stuff was untrue. And then
he said all that's cat. I'll be honest.
But then, and this was actually like an English tweet as well. I'm trying to remember, because that tweet did not like that. It didn't really have a lot of kind words to it either. But let's see. Oh my god. Oh, there he is. He's doing a lot of repeats here and there. Oh, actually, that's not him. Actually, it's another like fake account. Actually,
you thought it was the real one?
No. I'm actually searching it like live right now, but because I thought that'd be a little bit faster. Let me actually, you know what? Let me just verify like my the one that I sent over on Messenger. Let me verify that one real quick, because I don't know, like that could have been someone else, but I had to check the verified tag. It's could have sworn I just checked that. But yeah, no. You know what? If that were the case, I apologize for sending that. But let me just double check.
Could you imagine if it's the wrong one on Messenger too?
Let me see.
That'd be hilarious.
I'm not entirely sure if this is like oh, okay. Yeah, this is Hideki Kamiya. This is a chief game designer, director of Biohazard 2, Devil May Cry, Beautiful Joe, Okami, Bayonetta. And this account's been up for a while. Yeah, no. You guys can verify if this is the real one or not, but this one is at PG _ Kamiya. It just says like this is the tweet that I shared with you guys. Is saying sad and deplorable about the attitude of untruth. That's all I can tell now. By the way, beware of my rules. So if like, I don't know if that's a real legitimate account now that I think about it, because there's no verified mark on this one, and I don't even know if this guy actually has a verified like account either. So for now,
this really could just be
like for now, because I just said that, I just want to say that like that could be false information, so just take that with a grain of salt. But having said that though, like I guess we can only go based off of Helena's words. So apologies about that. To you guys in Messenger.
I would have really gone double check, triple check, probably quadruple checked first to see if this is a real source.
Let me just double. Actually, I think that is, because when you actually look up like Hideki Kamiya just like generally on Google, check abouts and the profiles, that Twitter link links exactly to that that tag PJ Kamiya. So that could be real, but just check, everybody. And regardless of that, it is kind of focused in on like Miss Taylor herself, and it still stands that she was reporting that she was just only paid 4,000 flat, which a lot of people are not happy about.
That's 4,000 more than I got.
True. So, and then some other stuff has come about as far as voice actors. And granted, like, I think this was a thing for a while now, but I think some big things that kind of like popped up recently was probably Jujutsu Kaisen's dub. payout, and now this.
Well, that's the thing. You would think that voice actors would be paid a lot. But no, they're actually very undervalued and very underpaid.
Which it's like I don't know. Like I can't really respect that practice, but I know that a lot of people are looking for a job. So like for voice actors in general, like trying to get a paycheck while still doing something that they enjoy, they may have very limited.
That's the dream.
Yeah, they may have some very limited options in regards to that. But yeah, this is one of those cases where Helena didn't really take that in silence, and she.
And yeah, if you look at how much live action actors get paid for a production, and like they get a cut. I'm pretty sure actors get a cut of the ticket sales.
I think so too. Yeah.
So why would we not do the same thing, say per se, with same way we do
With voice actors? Yeah.
Like streamers, if you're doing it on a streaming service instead of a theater, you could just take a chunk out of the ads.
Well, I mean, like I guess that's a different like thing of discourse, but and that's still going.
Or you just take a small chunk out of the memberships to help pay them.
I mean, that's kind of what Twitch is, right? Just real quick. So yeah, like streamers do get a cut of like all those different things. But as far as the amount, that's been like varying, and that's still like a developing thing. Payouts is now a little bit different too. But kind of going back to Helena, yeah, that's kind of what she wanted to say, is that she wanted a lot of people to she urged a lot of people to boycott. Having said that though, she wasn't gonna, just say that like you're a bad person for buying the game. But she wanted people to boycott because to kind of build an awareness to just kind of that injustice about it. But I know that Phil had shared his thoughts about it. I will let him speak on his own behalf about that. And not really share it here, but
did she get a small cut of the profits of the game selling?
I don't know. She didn't really talk about that.
Because that's what I want to know. Is because I'm assuming she must not if she's saying all this.
Yeah. Check with those 3 videos that she posted. They're both within a Twitter chain, or tweet chain. But
because if she was to, because like with actors, they get a cut of the ticket sales.
Right. Well, she was
so
like, I mean, like her share like after voice acting is one thing or another. But what we know from what she's saying is that it was a 4,000 flat rate for just doing the voice. I'm not sure about the sales after the fact.
Yeah, because I don't know about that part of the business. I don't know if they're going to be. I don't know if you make royalties or if you are going to be. You make royalties off of your voice in that product, like like actors do with their presence, or if it's going to be more of a case of just the 4,000. If it's just the 4,000, then yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah. Like that's what it seems like for us, just from the outside. I don't know, like that's rough, because now, we're a lot of people are excited for Bayonetta 3. From my side of things, now I'm kind of like morally conflicted about it, because it's just like, obviously, yeah, like she is the body, well, she's the spirit of Bayonetta. So I mean, I appreciate the new person doing the voice and just giving an energy to Bayonetta, but I do agree that Elena Taylor did just like start that off, and she is like the original Bayonetta. So
that's how a lot of people feel with Vic when it comes to Broly.
Yeah, so it's rough.
It was really rough. It was really rough for Vic because it had nothing to do with money. It had to do with
the reputation.
And those claims were never proven.
Yeah, well, there's the whole lawsuit thing and what happened, like the most recent stuff. But yeah, you're right.
Well, he was just denied. Well, with that, he was just denied a re-examination.
Mm-hmm. But
which I still think is bullshit, because I mean I think it deserves one, because as you can see, these claims didn't have any backing to them.
So like I can't really like elaborate on that because I'm not really well versed as to like the very specifics for Vic, but it feels a little harder for me to make a decision because it doesn't seem like Helena was ever in the wrong here. She was just trying to do her best, and
she's just trying to be Bayonetta.
For her, from her perspective, it just seems like she's just being mistreated as far as just like what she deserves to be paid. And Vic's kind of slightly different.
Yeah, all she was trying to do was be Bayonetta.
Right, but of course, she also needs to supply herself. She needs to support herself too, because like where Vidius was talking about how she's been afraid about like not being able to afford the things that she has. She doesn't have a car. I think there was a point where she was fearing about her being homeless. There was a part where she was mentioning that she at some point was a little suicidal. So there's a lot to unpack there when if all that stuff is on the line when you're doing these voice acting stuff, but you're still, I guess, mistreated. So there's just a lot to that, and we
have something right here. Only SAG AFTRA union members receive royalties for their voice acting work.
Okay. And
however, the majority of voice actors are non-union workers who are paid a full buyout.
Yeah, so I 100% can't tell you anything like about that as far as like what to expect there or why they wouldn't go as a unit, like under a union. I couldn't tell you. Either that or I believe possibly, and you know what? This kind of, oh my god, this kind of branches over to Mob Psycho as well, the dub. Because one of the guys who voiced Mob, I think it was whatchamacallit.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Video game voice actors. How much do they get paid?
Well, I mean, don't go into that topic real quick. I remember that Kyle, he posted something on TikTok and also Twitter as well. I'm pretty sure. He was talking about like the unions, and he had some insight as far as in this specific case for Crunchyroll and whatnot, for the anime scene for Mob Psycho.
I remember that whole debacle.
Yeah, they wouldn't negotiate with the union to even just have a discussion. So I wonder if that might also be something where it's like they don't really want to discuss with unions and they rather just talk directly to the voice actors. You all have to do the research on that one. I can only give you like what I possibly can imagine like from like what I'm seeing. But man, dude, it's a different time. I remember when the game was out and you'd play it and you enjoy it. If anything, there'd be like reviews to advise when not to buy it or play it.
But
now we get every single bit, like, well, not every single bit, but we get quite a bit of insight into the background and check like how morally correct this is, whether it be time crunches or in this case like possible unfair pay and a bunch of other stuff. It's crazy. But if there's anything I could possibly give you guys at the end of the day, one, just check your research as far as like this kind of stuff as well, and see where you kind of align, and whether you decide to do a boycott or go forward with the game, it's up to you, honestly, because at the end of the day, we're kind of viewing this from the outside, and the reason that we fall in love with these video games is for our own perspective. What do they mean to us specifically? So I think I lend a lot of this from Maximilian Dude, but it's just to, you can be a fan of like a video game franchise, but you don't have to really like the company for whatever actions they decide to do. Which I think, for him, he was saying this is more of along talks of like what game was available on what platform, for example. And that was the extent of that one, but it does also extend out to like stuff like this as well. Like if you're a fan of Bayonetta and that was it, then maybe it is up to you. Maybe it is something where you want to just go and buy the game, and that's fine. But if you don't really feel right about it, then maybe you should follow your gut instincts about it. Just decide it for your own self. Yeah, but
it says here that video game voice actors typically only get royalties if it is outlined in their contract.
Hmm.
This is something that it says you should negotiate before signing a contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seems that like Helena probably didn't. Yeah, she probably was under like a union, and so the
Or contract.
yeah.
Or that wasn't contract, one or the other.
So yeah, it was one of those things where like it would be up to her to like fully agree to the terms of just getting this flat rate seemingly. And as far as like, well, yeah, you're saying royalties like under, you know, contract and here and there under a union. So yeah, I guess it would just be a flat rate.
Yeah, so it's like she could still have. I'm not saying she doesn't have a point. She has a point. I'm just saying that I don't know what happened. I think that she should obviously be paid more than what she was paid. But just from the little bit of research that I just did, obviously I should do more. But just from this little tiny bit, it seems like maybe there's a little something to like. I'm just trying to understand how it works.
Right. Unfortunately, like that stuff is not really like out there. You have to kind of dig for it. But yeah.
But it sounds like, so far from what I see, it sounds like if you, for royalties, like, you know, residual income from their voice being in the product, like over time. It sounds like in order to get that, you need to have either be in a union or have that negotiated in a contract.
Mm-hmm. So that's something to kind of walk away from or walk away with. It's just like this whole bit. Ooh. Now how to bounce back and be a little bit more positive, right? It's up to you all just to decide whether or not Bayonetta 3 is for you. I know I got Bayonetta again. The first one just for the sake of having like a Switch copy since it's all kind of like under Nintendo now. I think Mark, oh, sorry, not you, Mark. Phil had said shared something about Rivali's voice actor for Breath of the Wild, and there was like a difference in how much he was being offered and paid for his voice lines in Breath of the Wild versus like an indie game. And granted, there could be you can kind of argue that one too, because just depending on like how many numbers of voice lines and also what was agreed, for example, for that.
Yeah. Also, experience is another thing.
I guess so too. Yeah.
Yeah, because novices usually get paid a little bit less because they're new. They usually get paid a little bit less rather than, let's say, like a big veteran.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like there is like it shouldn't necessarily always be that way.
But
there are some cases where, like, you know, if you have a big legend coming in, you know, you want to make sure they get paid well.
this is true. But yeah, I think it's one of those things where money talks, and as much as we want to keep things uniform, like, you know, these decisions do get made like within the house, right? So they can like so they can make the final say, and they can finalize the numbers as well. It's wild.
Truly. And also, there's still the other part of the title to talk about.
Yeah. What are we talking about now?
The title of the stream.
Oh, title of the stream, right? Whoa! All right. So it's about She-Hulk, right? She-Hulk had like their finale, possible season finale.
No, it was the season finale.
It was season. Okay, cool. Man, dude, what a way to end it, you know. And you know, you gave me some
absolutely random, all over the place, and
it was an ending. And you know what? I like, even with the knowledge you gave me, I'm kind of okay with it, because it really wasn't like your usual like Marvel like cinematic universe plot line, you know.
That's the whole point of it, is what they were trying to say, is what she was trying to say. I was like, well, yes, but it's like, well, yes, you certainly did something different, but did it make much sense?
I'll tell you, like, as an immediate response, no. But
it kind of felt, it wasn't bad, but it felt random and forced.
I think force. I think you have a point with it feeling a little bit forced. I've been getting some weird vibes of it, like from like episode 1 even.
Like it just shows internal turmoil, honestly, through the works.
Yeah, like it's tough because you look at the finished work now, and, you know, you kind of assume like when you're younger that like that's how it ends, like that's how it's written and it's how it's said. But now you kind of look at it from this perspective of, you know, how did they come to this conclusion? You know, I was talking about that. That's when you actually brought in like the feedback, and I was like, oh well, I guess it wasn't really like that. I really thought that they really had thought this through, or midway something had changed, but it seems like it really was kind of all over the place.
It was, yeah.
I mean, I still liked it for as weird as it was.
I mean, I think the show overall was not bad at all. Like, it was a good show. It's just that I could definitely see the drama going on behind the scenes through the show.
So I was just kind of like browsing over to like all the list of episodes and everything like that. I think it was pretty strong, like episodes 1 through 3, I would say. Of course, when you start to kind of dig into it, now you start to wonder like, okay, why was this? Why was this a plot line here? When is this coming back? It's so weird.
Mean, green, and straight poured into these jeans.
I will say, this is a bit of a spoiler here and there, but I did like Matt Murdock.
Oh, I love Matt Murdock. I thought he was fantastic.
I love his walk of shame.
I even love the coupling of him and She-Hulk. I really like it.
Um, I think it works.
Like, I honestly like that. I approve of that. Like, I was like, oh, that's a good choice.
I will say though, probably my favorite episode might be a tie between like 1 and 7.
1 and 7.
7 being the retreat. That's when she gets her car like wrecked and she's kind of stranded, and she kind of like has this turmoil between like, you know, Jen and She-Hulk, and she actually comes to a full acceptance despite her having full control over the She-Hulk powers. This was her finally making peace with it all, and I felt like that could have been the end. That could have been the end of the episode.
You mean the season?
Or sorry, yeah, the season. But
I mean, like, oh, like there were things the director did that I did like, and there's things the director did where I was wondering why.
yeah, because
Because
oh, go ahead. Yeah.
just because that I feel like she.
I'm sorry, Mark. What was that?
Yeah, sorry, I was drinking water.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, are you trying to hint at something? Because I'm not getting the message.
No. Basically, I just feel like a lot of her. It can be common. It can obviously happen with anybody, but this director, I just felt like through her work, she was trying to. It just felt kind of like she was expressing her thoughts or her inner feelings or stuff like this and that through her work, which is natural for artists. It's natural for that kind of thing. But I feel like the way she went about it came off forceful or harsh.
I felt that a little bit more so. I got like hints of like a bit of projection, and granted, this is hindsight bias, but a bit of projection. Like whenever she would talk, like when Jen would talk to like the viewers about how like Is this a Marvel show? No, it's a show about me, just Jen. I'm an attorney. I'm a lawyer. That's what the show's about.
That's what I'm saying. Like not even that. There's even more blunt, more blunt examples of it. But that is one of them where it's like, you can tell she's like she kind of talking shit.
Yeah, I felt like that was it hit a pinnacle, like how self-aware it was. Episode 9, the season finale, where they made Kevin Feige
A robot.
a robot from oh my god, what's her name from Portal?
Yeah, I was just wondering if Kevin knew about that. I don't know if Kevin knew they were doing that.
Overlord Kevin.
I just want to know if Kevin knew they were doing that, and if so, was he okay with it?
I mean, he didn't make a cameo, so. Also, I will say it was funny about the CGI bit and X-Men as well. I cannot tell you that.
I cannot tell you that.
You must transform back to Jen. Why? Because you are expensive. Oh, okay. Do that when
You are expensive.
when the camera cuts to me. Okay, go ahead.
It is cheaper to do it when it cuts to me.
Yeah, no. I otherwise I do like She-Hulk's like upbringing, like just even brought into the this MCU as, you know, it is more over just comedy, almost slice of life ish. Um, and I was totally okay with the idea that like it may not have like that level of action that you're used to seeing for like the main stage like Marvel movies. That's fine. But it did get weird, and I felt like they pointed out a couple things. I think, like for example, whenever like that time when she actually got jumped like in her neighborhood, and she was like, oh my god, oh wait, and she transforms. She beats ass, and then like by episode 7 she has to retreat, and that's when the guy shows up, and like it does the dramatic like editing and everything like that to make you feel like the sense of danger about this dude. But I'm over here like,
fuck that guy.
I was over here like, wait, head scratch, who is that guy? And then Jen immediately tells me, oh, you probably don't remember this guy. This guy's one of the guys who jumped me. And I looked at him and was like, oh my god, there wouldn't have been any way for me to recognize that dude. There's no way I would have recognized that dude. But yeah, the whole like stealing her blood type of thing, yeah, that was a subplot that was like in the works, and they did just kind of throw it out. They did nothing with that.
I also noticed they had Jen having a lot more sex than any other Marvel character I've seen on screen.
Straight up, dude.
Not only that, whole lot of shit talking on men.
That's fair.
That's my I'm not saying you can't shit talk men. Of course you can. That's fine.
Yeah,
But it was just a lot.
like, yeah, in hindsight, yeah, they kind of do that a lot for a lot of the male characters that are being represented, like Dennis, aka Dennis the Menace. I don't know if that's his actual name.
It's like unrealistically
Yeah.
fucking.
He is unrealistically like beta male, like so full of himself. I remember, yeah, I posted that as my reaction to like watching like episode 1 or 2, whatever like episode that he just kind of has like such a presence in the episode. I think it's the one with Megan the Stallion, because
He thought he was dating the Megan Thee
yeah,
Stallion.
he thought he was so hot shit that he was able to like nab Megan the Stallion. And I remember saying that like they couldn't, there's no, like obviously it's a fictional sort of show, so you have to take it with a grain of salt, but like there ain't no way such a dude would exist, right? There's no way.
I mean, I'll give him this. It's not impossible.
It's not impossible. You know what? Yeah.
There are some people in this world who are just that fucking full of themselves. But he is very, but other than that, he kind of is still an unrealistic kind of thing. It's also it just felt like a lot of personal things she shoved in there, at least to me personally. Not a like I didn't like I'm not saying it was a bad show because it wasn't a bad show, but I'm just saying you could clearly tell she put a lot of her own beliefs and views in there, and but
Yeah.
I mean, and it's her project. She's welcome to do that.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd have to like look back at it all again to see like every single like instance of like projection. Otherwise, like it's almost so hard for me to like really distinguish it as just simply like a move, or it being like a immediate reflection of like one's feelings towards like a very specific thing. But you are yeah, you are right. Like there was kind of a viewpoint or perspective, just kind of like I guess for lack of better words, men not being shit.
Men suck.
except for the father. Father's cool. Father's cool.
The father was pretty chill.
And Matt Murdock. Matt Murdock is also really cool too.
Matt Murdock was also very chill.
Again, I love his walk of shame. I like
The walk of shame. I want to know why they had him doing the walk of shame. Like, why is he shaved? Why is he shaved right now?
I have no idea, but it was so funny for him to do that in broad daylight.
They said, why is a guy in a devil costume doing a walk of shame? And I'm just like, wait, why is he? Wait, why is he ashamed?
I don't know. You know. Also, yeah. The way I kind of viewed She-Hulk was that it was gonna be like obviously the introduction of her still like being a lawyer despite having the Hulk powers, and she would take this whole division in regards to superpowers and try to create like some legality in there. But you know, other than that, there were like, I mean, granted, there were a couple of cases for that. Obviously, like there was a meal. There was obviously like Wong. Or well, actually, Wong was Wong was actually like a part of the whole situation on that one too.
Honestly, one of the funniest parts of the entire situation.
What's interesting about the show is that they did just go ahead and just unveiled all these different like super like heroes / villains or anyone with superpowers, just generally speaking, like the immortal dude, the guy who had so many wives over like his lifetime, and the way he gets out of it is by literally offing himself, but coming back alive constantly.
What about Leapfrog?
Dude, Leapfrog was a riot.
You forgot about the guard frog.
I just can't believe that. Who's their tailor? I forgot his name, but
oh, that guy.
Yeah, they really like he makes all the suits, and somehow he made a suit for Leapfrog.
I mean, hey, if you got the money.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess if you have the money, then all right. I mean, our tailor dude won't say no to the money at the very least.
I was getting ready to say, as long as you respect him and pay him, he'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if respect him, pay him, or you have the stat, like you have that reputation.
Mm-hmm. So I guess
he's got a reputation.
True. Actually, there was another episode there was a moment like I believe it was episode 8, when Matt Murdock was introduced. That was really cool, and that was really just a court scene about still upholding like privacy for superheroes regardless. Makes a really good point there, and I couldn't help but like really acknowledge that because we're so used to Jen being so exposed as like the superhero, but obviously wants to remain a lawyer. That was just a nice breath of fresh air. I like that a lot.
It's like well, not everyone's like you, Miss Walters.
Yeah.
Some people would like to keep their privacy.
Mm-hmm. But now my question is like, where does this all like fit? I mean, I guess it does just simply fit in the MCU because it does.
And Bruce, and to be fair, with what they wanted to do at the end, like they said, well, we got to introduce the Hulk because he's going to be introducing
oh my God,
it.
Dude, I forgot.
We see at the end Hulk's son, which is actually a thing in the comics, Scar.
I don't deny that. I don't reject that at all. It was so
I feel
funny
like
though.
I feel like that could have been done a lot better if they had, if the writers had been able to do their thing. But I feel like it's kind of like we had to make it kind of a one-off,
One off
kind of a
season.
mess.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it was an official introduction, but it wasn't done as great as it could have been.
Yeah. Also, apologies, Ibrahim. I did see your messages about Age of Calamity, the Korok seeds. I got that. Also, making soft brownies, which is nice.
Right?
Ask, do you like soft baked goods or crunchy baked goods? Soft.
Soft,
It's much more
always,
comforting.
always soft.
But yeah, I guess the TLDR versions, I still enjoyed She-Hulk for what it is. It does get
Oh yeah, like I thought it was.
it gets
I
weird
thought it was
though.
good. I'm just saying that I thought it was good, but I also felt like it was it was very much like it was very much like the director really put herself in it.
Yeah. It was weird in that regard as far as just like the inserts and how things were like aligned and just like the big fourth wall break in episode 9, the finality.
Like
No,
the fourth wall break to break all fourth wall breaks.
really was. I do appreciate the X-Men comment like please. I mean technically they already did, but you know, they just gotta follow through with that. And honestly, now with that, Deadpool better bring it as far as fourth wall breaking, like the biggest ones.
They got some competition.
They got some serious competition. Yeah. All right. There's a couple other things, but I'll follow the flow of the conversation. Abraham was asking, how's everyone enjoying like Chainsaw Man, Bleach, other stuff, Spy Family second season?
Still need to watch the Thousand Year Blood War arc first episode, but I know it's good. I've seen some clips. I know it's fire.
Yeah, I've seen the clips too.
So,
People were loving the hell out of it.
oh yeah, it's fucking sick. Chainsaw Man, good start, good start. I have friends who absolutely love the series who saw the first episode, said they're very hopeful for the rest of the season as well.
My God, dude, I'm in it with that the hype train for Chainsaw Man. That was a really good episode. Not just
The dog
like
was just so the dog was just so cute.
it's so cute, and I mean, granted, episode 1 of anything is usually like a very strong start and just to hook you in. But I believe they might keep that consistent, and if anything, it already has my attention, and they already have me like already invested emotionally in one or two characters. One of them may not be a demon dog.
It's a dog that's got a chainsaw coming out of its face, and it's absolutely fucking precious.
But yeah, I've been watching Spy Family. They had the recent episode.
Season 2 is fantastic.
It's good. Yeah, no, with Bleach, it's kind of hard because like I want to kind of like I want to catch up, or even get started. Actually,
There's a lot of catch up.
it's a lot to catch up to, and there's just feasibly no way unless all of a sudden I just had all the free time in the world just to watch everything.
Well, here's the question: when you say catch up, do you mean catch up or do you mean start?
Start. I mean both. Start and then catch up.
Because I know you said you need to catch up, but I'm like, I feel like you honestly kind of just need to start because I know you haven't seen a single thing from Bleach.
Hardly anything except for clips.
Yeah, you just gotta do what I did. Watch it all minus the filler.
Yeah, no, I had to. That's already another step of research as well.
It's really not hard to find.
Like, I just don't want to go through the effort. It's like you and the Joy-Cons. I don't really want to do it. Well, granted, I just don't want to go through that right now.
Keep in mind, yours just requires a simple Google search. Mine requires me going out and getting it.
Now, hold on. Not that hard with the Joy-Con. Literally, I just go to my UPS, and I could just grab the package there. I just have.
You also drive.
This is also true. Seems we're at a standstill now. But yeah, I would have to start it. It's like the whole thing with One Piece. I was watching One Piece for a little bit, and then I just
Bleach is way easier to approach than One Piece because of
all
the
right,
shorter
we're not
length.
talking about that. I'm just saying that like for me to start a whole new series, especially a shonen that has a very established like long line of episodes, and we're not talking about how long One Piece is. I'm just talking about how I just hard stopped it at a certain point. I don't know why I stopped. I just stopped at a certain point. I don't remember which episode though. And then we'll have Bleach, and I don't even like. It's hard for me just to start it. You know. It's hard to make that first step for something that has an established long line of episodes. So I don't even know. It's one of those things where I want to, but I can't really like fully take the plunge. You know what I mean?
You can't commit.
I don't. Yeah, I think that's the TLDR version. I don't know if I can commit to like however long I would need to watch a Bleach minus filter or
Here's a
filler.
question. There's a quicker way you can do it.
Okay. Spark note it.
Read it.
I could read it. Question.
How fast do you read?
If I'm motivated enough, maybe as fast as Gabe. Oh, actually, you know what? Scratch that. Let me see. Motivation plus time. That time's very small. I think that time's actually a negative. I don't know. I'll have to like double check. Find Bleach stuff. That'd be a pretty good idea just to like to read it. But yeah, no. Like I'm even like procrastinating on Blue Box, one that I had kept up with somewhat, like up to like chapter like 16 or 20 something. It's at 72 chapters now. Doesn't commit to the bit, do it for the vine.
Blue Box.
Blue Box is a kind of it's more of a slice of life romance.
A slice of life romance.
Yeah. It's nice, but I also just kind of fell off. Like I can't really explain it. It's just like if I skip for some reason, if I just skip like a chapter or an episode, it's like dangling from the ledge and might just fall already.
Very slippery slope for you.
Like I could probably jump back into it. It's just like all of a sudden it's a lot harder for me to do it. I feel like it's
like a very slippery slope for you.
I guess so, because like, and it also varies too, because like with She-Hulk, I literally had dropped, I almost hard dropped that off, not because it was bad or anything, it just happened, and I then caught up with the last 3 episodes, and that was that.
I need to watch the new Star Wars show. I heard it's really good.
That too, like,
I heard Andor was really, really good.
Yeah. That's just a lot. So I think it was a good idea for me to hop on episode 1 of Chainsaw Man. So now I know. I will say though, as far as all these different things and works that I like check in on and like engage with, as far as video games, I was able to finish Shovel Knight, like Shovel of Hope, technically now that it's called, since they got like all these different expansions. So I finished like Shovel Knight just by the vanilla version of it by itself. I don't know about the other ones. I'm not really quite interested in those ones. But as far as Shovel Knight, that's done. And now I moved on to Carry On, which for the sake of the holidays, or sorry, not holidays, the season being October and Halloween, it's actually a pretty good choice. Carry On's that reverse horror where you play as the monster and you destroy everybody.
Okay, good. You said horror. I was making sure I heard that. I was like, you said horror. I was worried. I was like, sorry, what did you just say?
I guess I guess you're the second one to say it too, where it's like, what did he say? Yeah, horror. Yeah, I guess I like really like conjoined that like word together even more so. It's a reverse horror game. But yeah, you just play as a monster, you attack people. It's great. You feel safe until they bring out the lasers.
until they bring out the lasers.
Then you gotta worry just a little bit. Yeah, but I guess I haven't really been able to pick up on Carry On for a while. Honestly, the Monster stuff has been kind of like taking my attention away, because now I'm in the grind mindset. I now need to grind for like parts and whatnot to make my weapons, and that's Iceborne. Sunbreak I don't have much of an issue with, because I already have like the weapons I'm currently using, but I guess they also added in some new stuff, so I would have to like work with that. But I guess I'm kind of focusing on Iceborne for now. Yeah, no, I'm trying to manage over here.
He's trying.
I'm trying, but I think that's pretty much everything on my little bit of the docket list, except for maybe like Amazon. I was gonna plan on giving you guys an update. They had an early access sale for just like Monday and Tuesday of this week. I'm not sure what the occasion was, but if you wanted to get like some pretty good deals, then they had those available. So these two weren't on sale, but I got, like, because of all these new shirts I've been getting, not this one specifically, I got just like a bunch of new hangers. Since I only had one like toothbrush head, I got like a couple more for my electric toothbrush. And then the actual one that I got on sale was actually like a workout bench. So I got to try that out yesterday, and also as well as assemble it. It's good so far. I just feel like I need the weights for it, and then I'm almost that much closer to kind of transitioning out of the gym. Maybe not so much. They still got a lot of the other machines I use. Oh, also, Ibrahim was bringing out something about the meta. Yeah, I didn't really follow that. I just know it's very expensive what they're trying to offer. It's very expensive. I don't know if I can justify like such a purchase either. Same thing with the Steam Deck. Granted, that one's a little bit cheaper. Yeah, wait, hold on. Speaking of this, actually, hold on. This might be dangerous for me personally as far as a purchase decision, but isn't the Steam Deck? Yeah, the Steam Deck. It's like $400. So, damn.
Well, one of them is.
Yeah, that's the lowest tier one anyway. But hypothetically, you can't upgrade that, right? I believe so.
Yeah.
Also, what happened recently was, another cloud gaming device is entered in, and that actually is some really like new news. I think from RazerCon.
There's a new one?
Yeah, so you know how Logitech has released their own like cloud gaming device? Well, Razer has announced their own. I think what's different about this one is that they're working with Verizon for it. So technically speaking,
oh boy, I can't wait for Apple. I can't wait for Apple and Xfinity to hop in on one.
Don't try to test the waters there. I have a feeling that you might be right. It's so wild. This thing's called just simply Razer Edge Cloud Gaming. That's what it's called. It really looks like version 2 of like the Kishi, like mobile like adapter thing that just works on your phone. In fact, I think it is really a thing where like it's a really small tablet that can have its controllers detached from it. It's kind of, I don't know how I feel about that.
You were like, I can't tell if I like this or I don't like this.
Yeah, no, no. just putting that out there.
I'll put this in the I'm not sure pile.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I now know how I feel about the Logitech gaming device. It's nice. I just can't really subscribe to the cloud gaming only type of thing. So I guess that's where Razer also falls too.
At least not until their connections are more stable.
I think so. Yeah, I think you might have a point there. I think there's a place for cloud gaming for sure as far as the accessibility.
The accessibility is absolutely, it's absolutely, they're onto something there. They just gotta work out the bugs.
I think they resolved the issue of one of my issues, which was the fact that for Xbox, for example. It's part of like Game Pass Ultimate. So yeah, you could just
Xbox is doing it very well.
Mm-hmm. I will say, kind of chaining it back together to the meta thing. I know that Xbox is incorporating like Game Pass or cloud gaming specifically towards meta, and I think that's pretty cool. I actually like that idea. It's not like you playing VR Xbox games, but it's just like you're without the need of a monitor. You just have a headset where it just has a fixed angle on it.
Remember the HoloLens?
I do kind of remember though, yeah.
It's still a thing. I just wish they were geared more towards the public market, because HoloLens looked so cool.
I'll have to like remind myself about everything about HoloLens.
HoloLens 2.
HoloLens 2.
That's a thing, apparently.
Apparently so. I just saw that.
How much is one actually?
I know. Let's see. Let's see.
Jesus Christ.
Is it as much as my left nut?
No, it's not that. It's not your nut expensive, but
okay, not as expensive as left nut, but still. Wow. Oh, wow, dude. Woo.
I know it's used a lot in medical technology.
See, that's dope, yeah. So, yeah.
Microsoft's HoloLens headsets are giving U.S. Army testers nausea.
Is that part of the news feed?
That's funny.
Oh, I see it.
I guess it's not doing so hot for any military applications right now.
Yeah, you know, we got time. You don't have to really worry too much.
It's because they've been trying to get augmented reality for like certain things for military, like say like the heads up display.
That is kind of dope when you think about it. They do it so much in fiction.
Yeah, it's like especially like in Halo, that's a heads up display on Chief's visor.
Right.
They're trying to do something similar with the military.
Ooh.
Like it could display all kinds of things, ammo count, a small map.
Man, the map thing and the ammo count, wild.
Yeah, it would all be stuff to help you keep track. It could also do that for like, say, if they're going to raid a building, like so they could have a layout of the building to look at.
Mm-hmm. See, all the stuff that we've seen in fiction, they want to put it there, and I get that.
I mean, like, there are some companies that aren't okay with. There are some workers who aren't okay with that. Like, there was one company that wanted to do that, and the workers said they didn't want their stuff being used for the military because they weren't comfortable with their stuff being used to involve killing people.
That's fair.
Which is, I get it. I understand that. It's like, I understand that if you aren't comfortable with that, because naturally it's a very dark thing. I understand if that weighs heavy.
Yeah.
So I get it, because I bet if you saw your work doing that, it's going to weigh heavy on your conscience.
Mm-hmm.
And not everyone can handle that. Augmented reality.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah. I mean, I've definitely like messed with the Quest before because my brother had like the Quest too.
Never tried VR myself.
It's cool, especially when you do the rhythm games for sure. Like it's just so wild.
They're making more and more now where you fight. It's like actually use your fists, swords, guns.
Yeah, I saw.
They're getting more and more elaborate.
From Starlo.
I fucking loved that shit.
Listen, I think everyone has the right for entertainment that involves you as Gojo beating the shit out of anybody.
especially some knight on the battlefield. Just hit him with the Gojo combo.
That was so crazy.
My man went in.
Ooh, but I saw something crazy. It was actually from Marquez Brownlee. He was it was the weirdest thing, but it was like, I think it was a headset and one laptop monitor in front of him. He put the goggles on And I think he saw 3 other monitors like right above that, and I was like, that's not bad of an idea. Hold on. I don't know how that actually works, but if you could like actually set that up so that you can see multiple monitors if you only have the one, I think that would be that'd be some crazy tech. I think that'd actually be pretty useful.
I believe that would be considered augmented reality.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right.
Because you're not because if he's still seeing the outside world and then he's just adding other elements to it, that
Yeah,
can be considered
yeah,
augmented reality
yeah, by
rather
definition.
than virtual reality.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe we're almost there. We're almost there.
Yeah, we're starting to get out of the the analog age of VR per se.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way to say it. Yeah. So
Because
interesting.
there's a lot of the earlier VR headsets are a little heavy.
Yeah.
Because there was one German dude. He was like one of the world's first like VR related injuries.
Hmm.
Because he wore down one of his vertebrae and it cracked.
Oy. I wonder if if it gets to a point where like my job would actually start like utilizing that, and that's scary but also kind of cool to anticipate.
But it cracked because of so much because of he wore it down from all the head movement, the rapid head movement
Oh, yeah, okay.
in VR. So he moved his head too quickly so often that eventually he just wore it down in his neck.
Oy. Hmm. I think there would be solutions to that, but at the end of the day, that's still a very specific thing to like mess with, and you just have to be careful about it. Ooh.
Make sure you're safe, kids.
Don't mess with VR too long. Yeah, already. Okay, I think that's everything. Mark, did you have anything else you wanted to add? Honestly, I still, because of how like fresh it is, the whole Bayonetta thing is wild to me.
Yeah, it is very recent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's a little bit of a record of how I'm feeling today on a Saturday. Oh yeah, that again, the Comic-Con tickets. Did I talk about that? Well, I did. Thank goodness. I don't have to worry about it.
Comic-Con tickets.
I got them. I got them. We actually got pretty lucky.
How many times do you have to refresh?
You don't refresh, actually. The whole system is pretty much a queue that it's automatically refreshing itself.
I see. So they put you in line this time.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, like the thing is that for the past couple of years they put you in a queue with a bunch of other folks, and then your eventual time shows up. In the past, it was kind of random. You had to just kind of keep looking for it. You don't refresh. Do not refresh at the time, because you're gonna boot yourself out. And you would just without any warning, you would just drop in. But these past couple of years has gotten better, where it's like they have an actual like a lot of time for you. Sometimes it gets pushed back, like it did this time, where you'll have like a certain number. Like they'll tell you like your wait is like over an hour, but it'll just quickly change it to like maybe 45 minutes, 30 minutes, depends. And then they'll usually keep that number. They honor that number. So once it was my time, I was able to order my tickets or my badges, and then 2 other folks. And that's kind of the system, is that you just get a group and you just kind of like order for each other, and then you pay each other later. So that's what I did. We got like 4 to 5 people to get into like the front line and order tickets, or sorry, I say badges. And we got everybody in, so it was good.
Let's go.
But I'll let you all know, you and everyone in the chat, when the next available one is, as soon as that becomes available.
Just in case there's Comic-Con tickets every year.
Ibrahim says, Justin, are you going to the Trash Taste live event, or events, something? No, probably not.
I enjoy Trash Taste.
Not saying that I don't. I just, not that much. But yeah, alrighty. I think that's pretty much everything. So appreciate everyone for tuning in, and thanks for watching. This has been episode 431 of DangIT Prodcast. My name is Justin.
Uh,
Again, thanks for watching. # bye, everybody.